All right, hour number 2 on Big Board Sports on this Wednesday. Rodger, Wyland, Michael Johnson Jr. 100 apiece across the glass. Major League Baseball last night. Yankees, once again, cannot score runs. 29 innings without a single run. And the Mets, we got to the Yankees. We'll get back to them and hear from Aaron Boone. But the Mets had a really bad loss, I thought, in Atlanta. They're up 4-1 late in that game, 8th inning, right? And they cough it up and lose 5-4. And let's bring on Chris Bello, covers the New York Mets with Metsmerize podcast, and covers them a lot. And Chris, you watch a lot of Mets games. Good morning. How are you?
Well, after last night, not too great,
yeah.
But, we're doing pretty good overall in the season, so not too much to complain.
No, but I think that's a bad loss. I mean,
yeah, it's tough.
You're in Atlanta. I mean, look, the Braves are going to be ready because of what happened last year, right? The Mets went into Atlanta and won in Atlanta to get to the postseason last year. The Braves are not going to lay down for the New York Mets, and I've seen it before where the Mets get in a situation with the Atlanta Braves and get beat. This isn't the first time I've seen this. Almost like a flashback to other games when it comes to the Braves. What in your opinion, what the heck happened there?
I mean, look, it was absolutely the worst loss of the season, no doubt about it. You can go back to that 7-1 loss they had to Washington in April. You can even go back to Friday, that 5-1 lead they had over the Rays. But I think you summed it up pretty perfectly. They're playing the Braves. You don't want to let them back in the division. And you're starting this 10-game gauntlet against the Braves and Phillies, where you really want to set the tone and you really want to take advantage of a Braves team right now that, let's face it, they're 32-39. And you have a chance to not end their season, but really leave them in the dust here. And I mean, my thoughts, my reactions, you have David Peterson, who looks like an ace right now. He goes 7. You waste that start. You've got all the controversy with Francisco Alvarez, even before that play in the 10th, where Reed Garrett wanted to throw that fastball and he changes it. So, you can't really sum it up to one or two things. It was just a bad overall game. Even the base running before that left a lot to be desired. So, it does leave a sour taste in the mouth. You got Chris Sale tonight, so it's going to be tough to bounce back tonight.
Yeah, Sale against Blackburn tonight on Wednesday, and Sale had his schedule start Sunday against Colorado pushback, so he would be available to take on the New York Mets. So FYI on that. How did you look at the Soto play and him getting doubled up on the fly ball to right center, which, by the way, was a phenomenal catch. I can see where he wasn't sure whether it was caught or off the wall, but he still can't get doubled up there.
I mean, look, I get it. You're looking for the umpire. You want to see what the call is, but why are you not looking at the play right there? That's my reaction to it. You, as a base runner, need to know what's happening. Unless he really didn't see it and he's looking at the umpire to make a call, I get it, but that spot right there, you can't get doubled up. I think it was just, again, you have the Alonso stretching a single to a double before that. Then you have that base running error right there. Even before that, he got caught trying to steal a base. So it was just really a mental mistake that kind of lasted throughout the whole night.
And then even in the 10th, what about the mental error by Vientos, right? You got to throw that ball to third.
Yeah, it was tough. And there's a lot of murmuring on Mets Twitter. As you know, we're not really a mentally fortitude-based fan base, sending him down to AAA. I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but heat of the moment, a ball bounces. I'm not going to pretend I'm athletic, so you can throw that ball to second base, and it allows the winning run to go to third. But that just can't happen. You got to either run at the guy or throw it to third, and then it opens up a whole can of worms. And as we kind of alluded to at the top of the hour, it's a house of horrors for the Mets. That always has been, and outside of that one blip last season where they took the first game of the doubleheader, it continues to be that.
Talking some New York Mets baseball with Chris Bello from Metsmerized here on Big Board Sports, hour number 2, 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio, the free 104.5 The Team app. Chris, David Peterson was rock solid last night, goes 7 strong, and, could be really an all-star at this rate, right, for the New York Mets. What have you made of his ability to be so consistent on the mound and his high level of production in this Mets starting rotation to this point?
Well, we always knew David Peterson had the stuff. He was a first-round pick out of Oregon. And, in a game that's so caught up today in home runs, strikeouts, and walks, you saw him really nitpick the zone at the beginning of his career. And now, he's not really striking guys out, only 3 Ks last night. But he's got a 2.6. He's pitching the contact. I mean, you could really argue, if not for Kodai Senga in his phenomenal year. I mean, he's your ace. He's your best pitcher. And overall, he might be a top 5 pitcher in the National League. You take guys like Zach Wheeler, Chris Sale over him, but the list isn't too long in front of him right now.
I got to tell you one player that I love watching him in the outfield, but how about the play, and it doesn't matter because the game ended, but Austin Riley hits that bases-loaded sac fly in the 10th, and that would produce the game-winning run. But Tyrone Taylor just goes all out to make a great grab out there when he didn't really have to, but he did, and that shows me a lot.
Yeah, it's real gritty, and, obviously the point's moot, and I'm sitting there and the game got away from them, so I'm disappointed by it, but there was a little bit of a fan in me that kind of pumped my fist, and I was like, heck yeah. Like, he caught that ball. Like, that was awesome. So, yeah, I mean, Tyrone Taylor's been getting it in center field all season long, and by the way, Tyrone Taylor might be the only player, like, in the MLB right now who can hit Spencer Schwellenbach. I mean, he owns that guy.
Yeah.
Had a home run, a double, going back to last year. I mean, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, he homered and drove in 3 runs.
Taylor's
truth be told, Tyrone Taylor last night. And Juan Soto went deep again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Juan Soto just completely owns the Braves. He might be that missing piece that the Mets need when they go into Atlanta over the next 15 years. But, yeah, I mean, just going back to how that game got away, you have Soto homer. He set the tone. You get out to that 4-1 lead. It was just leaves a sour taste in my mouth just talking about it. Yeah.
Well, see if they can bounce back tonight and get the win with Blackburn, but it's not going to be an easy one with Chris Sale and Mount Fort Land. We'll see how it plays out. Chris, always a pleasure. Keep up the great work with Metsmerized and covering the New York Mets.
Thanks, guys.
You too, man.
Chris.
Take care. Thank you.